barometer scale. Okay. Consider a body immersed in a liquid. How the buoyancy gets affected with rise in temperature. Okay. Buoyancy is volume immersed, here completely immersed of course, volume immersed into density of liquid V naught to rho naught into G. When you raise the temperature, B dash is equal to V into rho into G. Solid expands, liquid expands. So you write here V naught into 1 plus gamma solid into delta theta rho naught by 1 plus gamma real expansion of the liquid into delta theta into G. Rearrange. V naught rho naught G 1 plus gamma solid into delta theta 1 minus gamma real expansion into delta theta, binomial approximation. This is B I can write for this, and this product will become 1 minus gamma real minus gamma solid into delta theta. Thus buoyancy decreases upon increasing the temperature. Okay. Now consider metal floating on a liquid. Why metal I took? Expansion metal considerable. So expansion of metal since is considerable. Metal floating on a liquid, mercury I will take. So this is a metal ball or metal object floating on mercury. Metal can float in mercury. Metal can float in mercury. Now V is the total volume of the metal. V immersed is the immersed volume. Immersed volume of the metal. Take the ratio. Fractional volume immersed F is equal to V immersed by V total. V immersed by V total from the concept of fluids, fluid statics. Since weight balances with buoyancy, this is equal to rho by sigma. Density of the material rho, density of the liquid is sigma. This is sigma. This is the fractional volume immersion. At a high temperature, fractional volume F dash becomes, see, when you heat up, solid temperature increases, liquid temperature increases. It becomes V dash immersible by V dash You understand this? Fraction of volume immersed is how much volume is inside the liquid and how much volume is outside. How much volume is inside the liquid and how much volume is outside, that we know. V immersed by V, this is V is total, V immersed is inside, so this is fraction immersed F. At a high temperature, since volume of the body changes, V dash immersed volume is different and V dash total volume both increase. Na? Volume of the body increase. So immersed part increases, this also increases. V immersed by V dash. This you can write as rho dash by sigma dash. What is rho dash? Density of the metal at a high temperature. What is sigma dash? Density of the liquid at a high temperature. Now, change in the fraction. F dash minus F. Okay. So, fractional change. Delta F by F. This is fractional change in the fraction of volume immersed. Be careful. Fractional change in the fraction of volume immersed. This is F dash minus F by F dash by F minus 1. So this is rho by rho dash by sigma dash into sigma by rho minus 1. Check it. Okay. Now, to get going further, I have to erase this. This one I am erasing. Now, boys, you see, delta F by F is equal to sigma dash is first rho dash you write rho by 1 plus gamma metal, gamma solid or gamma metal into delta theta. I said this is a metal and this is mercury. When you raise the temperature, density decreases, we all know. So density rho dash at a high temperature is rho by 1 plus gamma metal delta theta. Hope you understood. Gamma metal, if you want, you can write 3 times linear expansion alpha of the metal. Similarly, sigma dash you can write sigma by 1 plus gamma real expansion into delta theta minus 1. This is equal to 1 plus gamma real expansion of the liquid into delta theta 1 plus gamma metal into delta theta minus 1. This is equal to gamma real expansion minus gamma metal into delta theta. Okay. By this is there, na? By this one I will take to the numerator. When I take it to the numerator, it becomes 1 minus gamma metal into delta theta. So Nana, if you open the bracket, gamma real minus gamma metal into delta theta is one term minus gamma metal into delta theta multiplied by gamma real minus gamma m into delta theta. So this term is negligible. The product of two coefficients is always negligible. So your answer is only this one. Simply it is gamma real expansion minus gamma metal. You want, you can write 3 times alpha of the metal into delta theta. Any doubt here, please raise in case of any doubt. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, sometimes the metal expansion is negligible. Solid expansion, it may not be metal, some solid wood on water. Wood expansion is negligible. Then what happens? If the solid expansion is negligible, put the title. Solid expansion is negligible. Fractional volume F is equal to rho solid by rho sigma liquid. At high temperature, fraction F dash is equal to rho by sigma dash. Rho is not changing. Metal expansion negligible. So what happens here? This is equal to rho by sigma dash is sigma by 1 plus gamma real into delta theta. Gamma liquid actually. I write always real to remind you that expansion of liquid means you have to take absolute expansion only, real expansion only. So now see f dash is becoming, this is f into 1 plus gamma real expansion of the liquid into delta theta. Okay. Now this is true when solid expansion is negligible. Now see one small problem. At a temperature theta naught, fractional volume immersed is F. At a temperature theta 1 greater than theta naught, fractional volume immersed is F1. At a temperature theta 2 greater than theta naught, fractional volume immersed is F2. When temperature increases, buoyancy decreases. So fractional volume immersed will change. It's a floating body. Fractional volume immersed will change. I can write C from this expression. F1 is equal to F into 1 plus gamma for liquid. Gamma liquid, this is gamma real expansion into theta 1. F2 is equal to F into 1 plus gamma real theta 2. Divide. You write gamma. Gamma real expansion of the liquid you can find in terms of fractional volume immersed. In terms of fractional volume immersed, it becomes F1 minus F2 by F1 F2 delta theta. This is delta theta 1 delta theta 2. So delta theta 1 minus F1 into delta theta 2. Now, expansion of solid is considerable. Then what to do? Expansion of solid is considerable. New fraction f dash is equal to rho dash by sigma dash. Rho dash could be written rho by 1 plus gamma metal or gamma here. It can be metal or may not be. No? So solid I will write. Gamma solid into delta theta. This is sigma 1 plus gamma real expansion into delta theta for liquid. I could write it as old fraction f into 1 plus gamma real delta theta by 1 plus gamma solid delta theta. Suppose gamma real expansion of the liquid is greater than gamma solid. Yes. Okay, na? Liquid expansion is greater than solid volume expansion of solid. Usually this is what happens. This is what happens. Liquid expansion is usually greater than solid expansion. Then what happens? Metal sinks or the substance will sink. Solid will sink more. What is the reason? So if you take it up, you can write it F into 1 plus gamma real minus gamma solid into delta theta. So if this is the case, f dash is equal to f into some positive number, means so more you are getting, more, so it will sink. Real expansion of the liquid is equal to volume expansion of the solid. Then f dash is equal to 0. So there is no change. It will remain like that. Real expansion of the liquid suppose is less than gamma solid. Solid is expansion is more than liquid expansion. Then what happens? It gets lifted up, lifts up, lifts up slightly. Understand this? Any doubt here? There's a question in HCV.
1 minute, sir.
I to just come back in few seconds. Okay, we continue now. HC Verma, there is a problem. Let us take up that. What it says. See, there is a cube, aluminum cube, floating on mercury. Aluminum cube floating on mercury like this. Like this, it is floating on mercury. This is at 300 kelvins. How much further will it sink if temperature is raised to 350 kelvins? How much further will it sink if the temperature is raised to 350 kelvins? Try to solve it. When temperature increases, metal expands, liquid expands. Keep it in mind. How much extra immersed is required? So, mg is equal to buoyancy. Mg is equal to buoyancy. How do you write? Let L be the length, L be the, it's a cube, na? L only. Okay, so base area L square, immersed height H, immersed height H. This is volume immersed into density of liquid into G at 300 kelvins. Now at a high temperature, this is equal to L dash square. So cube increases, na? Cube side becomes L dash into immersed portion will become H dash, immersed depth will become H dash, density of liquid will become rho dash into G. Check it once. Okay. This is also mg. Still it is floating. So if you divide this side 1 you will get, okay, h dash by h is equal to, what do you get? H dash by h is equal to L by L dash whole square into mercury density rho by rho dash, rho by rho dash, that is for mercury. You can write L by L dash is L into 1 plus gamma of aluminium, or you can try to 3 type well alpha only, not gamma, alpha of aluminium. So you write here alpha aluminium into delta theta whole square. Rho by rho dash is rho by 1 plus gamma. So this is 1 plus gamma real expansion of the liquid. Liquid is mercury. So gamma mercury I am writing into G into delta theta. Sorry. Okay. Thus H dash is equal to, or H dash by H is equal to, this is 1 minus 2 alpha delta theta binomial approximation. And this is 1 plus gamma mercury into delta theta. The product will become equal to 1 plus gamma mercury minus 2 alpha into delta theta. Therefore, H dash is equal to, H dash is what? New volume immersed, new depth immersed. That is equal to H into this one. 1 plus gamma mercury minus 2 times alpha of aluminum into delta theta. So H we assumed, look here, H into L square is volume immersed. H into L square is volume immersed. For Archimedes principle, I am writing by H dash into, we have this expression on volume immersed by V total is equal to density of material by density of mercury. This you can use. To calculate H. Here, volume immersed by V total, H by L into area L square into L square. Area cancel. This is equal to rho aluminum by rho mercury. Area you can cancel. H by L equal to this one. So H you want, you can write rho aluminum by rho mercury into L. This is HCV problem. Just check once. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Expansion of gases. This week you have expansion of liquids, expansion of solids, expansion of gases, and KTG, kinetic theory of gases, in addition to SHO. This is the this week syllabus. You have advanced pattern. Advanced pattern test. Coming to expansion of gases. A gas is characterized by given mass of gas. That's most important. Given mass of gas is characterized by pressure, volume, temperature. Pressure, volume, temperature. Given gas is characterized by these three parameters, PVT. Pressure, volume very effectively change when you increase the temperature. If you supply the heat or remove the heat, then temperature definitely will change. With that, pressure changes, volume changes. Both are considerable. So, PVT all keep changing. PVT all keep changing. It is difficult to study the such changes. It is difficult to study. When all are changing, difficult to study. So what to do? We have to keep one parameter constant at a time. So put pressure constant. Come on. Under constant pressure conditions, under constant pressure conditions, under constant pressure conditions, we define volume coefficient of expansion. Volume expansion of gas we will study. How volume changes with temperature. So corresponding coefficient is called volume coefficient of expansion. Symbol is alpha. Volume coefficient of expansion, symbol is alpha. How do you define it? Change in volume per unit original volume per 1 degree rise in temperature. Change in volume per unit original volume per 1 degree rise in temperature. So it is delta V by V into delta theta. Delta V by V into delta theta. Change in volume per unit original volume per 1 degree rise in temperature. Units per degree Celsius or Kelvin. You can write anything. Okay. So simply V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta theta. You can write that. How we did in case of solid expansion, same you can do here also. Volume coefficient V minus V naught by V naught into temperature T, T or theta minus 0. Or if V1 volume at temperature T1, so it is V naught into 1 plus alpha T1. Volume V2 at temperature T2, 1 plus alpha T2. Rearrange. Alpha equal to V2 minus V1 by V1 T2 minus V2 T1. You can write like this. This value we can find this value. I will show you. Coming to pressure coefficient. Pressure coefficient means when volume is kept constant volume, how the pressure changes with the temperature. So that is defined as beta. Pressure coefficient is pressure at a temperature minus pressure at 0 degrees by pressure at 0 into T minus 0 or theta minus 0. This is pressure coefficient. Okay. So change in pressure per unit original pressure per 1 degree rise in temperature. This is pressure coefficient. Now I will show you the graph. How volume of a gas is changing with the temperature. This point we discussed in thermometry. I am repeating again. This is 0 degrees Celsius. This is Celsius scale. Volume is found to be like this. Volume of the gas at 0 degrees is V0. At any temperature, it is V at temperature T. Corresponding temperature here, T. So if you join this angle is theta, this angle is also theta. Where volume becomes 0, that temperature is minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Where volume is 0, that temperature minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now see, tan theta slope from the graph is V, this length Vt minus V0. So V at T minus V0 by this is T minus 0. From the lower graph, you can write this length V0 minus 0 by 273.15. You can write even this. ఇప్పుడే జస్ట్ వెళ్తుంది ఒక 2 నిమిషాల్లో అయిపోతుంది కష్టం చేసేది నాకు అర్థం వస్తుంది ఈ టైంకి నేను చాలా పొద్దున్న rearrange V at T minus V0 by V0 into T minus 0. This is 1 by 273.15. You neglect or you want, you write. This is not the pressure coefficient or volume coefficient. Here it is alpha, volume coefficient. Same graph is true in case of pressure versus temperature also. Pressure versus temperature also same graph is true. So pressure coefficient, volume coefficient is common and it is equal to alpha equal to beta, that is equal to 1 by 273. 1 by 273 and its value if you simplify 0.003366 or 366 something, you will get like this. Okay, pressure coefficient, volume coefficient, both are same. Sir, for which gas, sir? For any gas. This is true for any gas. You plot for oxygen, you plot for helium, you plot for NO2, whatever it may be. CO2, mono, di, poly, whatever the gas you take, even CH4 you take, you will get the same. Okay, for all it is found to be this one. Any gas, mono, di, poly, any gas, coefficient of volume expansion and coefficient of pressure expansion, both are found to be same. Pressure coefficient, volume coefficient are found to be same, and at Kelvin 0, I mean minus 273.15, the volume or pressure of the gas is becoming zero. The volume of the gas or pressure of the gas is becoming zero at minus 273.15. See, this temperature is not achievable practically. It is not achievable. But how do people know, sir? It is just a perception. Okay. So if you plot the graph, it meets at 0 degrees. Minus 273.15, the volume or pressure is becoming zero. Practically, if you start reducing the temperature of the gas, it's a costly affair. Maintaining low temperature is a costly affair. You know the cost of refrigerator, which maintains 0 degrees. Costly affair it is. Okay. Even experimentally, if you try, you cannot practically see the volume of the gas or pressure of the gas becoming zero, because first point minus 273.15 is not achievable. It is not achievable. If you keep on reducing the temperature, automatically the gas gets either liquefied or solidified. Well before reducing its volume or pressure to zero, the gases are found to get liquefied, either liquefy or solidify. Okay. So this is what we found with experiments. This is for all real gases which get solidify or liquefy well before reaching minus 273.15. But we deal with ideal gases. Ideal gases means a completely imaginary concept. It's a completely imaginary concept, like how we took frictionless surface initially. It's an imaginary concept. Ideal gases, molecules do not interact with each other. All the molecules are considered as point sizes, spherical balls. Point size spherical balls. Okay, they do not interact with each other unless they come in collision, contact with them. When they collide with each other, yes, they interact. When they collide, they interact with each other. Okay, and all collisions are treated as perfect elastic collisions. All collisions are perfect elastic collisions. Either molecule versus molecule or molecule versus container wall. All are elastic collisions. They exchange forces, exert forces during collisions. They exert forces during collision time only. Potential energy of ideal gas molecule is zero because interatomic forces are negligible. When interatomic forces are negligible, potential energy is zero only. It's very clear. Okay. And another most important point of ideal gas is that they retain the gaseous phase even at Kelvin 0, minus 273.15. Even at minus 273.15, they remain gas only, gas only, gas only. Note this point. This is not true in case of practical gases. This is not true in case of practical gases. Even then, it is true with ideal gases. It's ideal concept is ideal concept. It's an ideal concept, simply ideal concept. Okay, now these points are clear. Pressure coefficient, volume coefficient is same for both. Pressure coefficient, volume coefficient are same. When volume is kept constant, pressure varies with the temperature. When pressure is kept constant, volume varies with the temperature. Actually, all vary, P and V will vary with temperature, but we cannot study the simultaneous variation. So we keep one parameter constant, and we will do. Pressure coefficient is equal to volume coefficient, and that value equal to 1 by 273. Kelvin shifted the scale from 0 degrees to this one, minus 273.15. He proposed a new scale of temperature, okay, and this is volume versus temperature, capital T now, absolute scale of temperature. The graph is a straight line now, you see. We discussed this point in thermometry. We discussed this in thermometry. Hmm? Pressure volume is proportional to temperature. So how? Volume at T is equal to V naught into 1 plus alpha T. Alpha is what? Pressure coefficient. Similarly, volume pressure you want to write, pressure at a time temperature T is equal to P naught into 1 plus beta T. Alpha, beta each is equal to 1 by 273. So if I write volume at T degrees Celsius equal to V naught into 1 plus T by 273. This is equal to V naught into 273 plus T by 273. Now volume at T degrees Celsius equal to V naught by 273, one constant into this is capital T. That's why the law has come. So once Kelvin proposed a new scale of temperature where capital T is equal to small t plus 273.15 actually. Charles gave an equation. What he said? Volume of a gas under constant pressure is directly proportional to Kelvin temperature T. Volume of a gas under constant pressure conditions is directly proportional to Kelvin absolute temperature T. Okay, erasing this. This part erased.
1 minute, sir.
You studied now, you guys, gaseous state.
Done, sir.
Coming to in a similar way, see, V proportion to T. So V1 proportion to T1, V2 proportion to T2, V1 by V2 is equal to T1 by T2, Kelvin temperatures. Similarly, pressure is proportional to temperature, Kelvin temperature under constant volume conditions, Gay-Lussac law. So T1 by T2 is equal to T1 by T2. You can also write this V by T is equal to constant. Under constant pressure, P by T is equal to constant under constant volume. Boyle's law says under constant temperature conditions, pressure is inversely proportional to volume or PV equal to constant. Now club these two with this. Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac law will give you PV by T is equal to constant for a given mass of gas. See, any gas, 1 gram molecular weight, 1 gram molecular weight found to contain Avogadro number of molecules, 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. It may be atom or molecule. Suppose helium gas if you take. Helium, gram molecular weight, how much, Nana? He24. 4 grams. 4 grams of helium contains 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 helium atoms. Mono. If you take oxygen O2, O816, O816. So it has two molecules. If you take 32 grams of oxygen contains 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules. Here atomic state, here molecular state. So this is Avogadro number. Okay. So how to get number of moles? Mass of the gas by its gram molecular weight. Mass of the gas by its gram molecular weight. Okay. For example, you have 64 grams of oxygen. 64 grams by gram molecular weight 32 grams. So it is 2 moles. There are 2 moles. In 2 moles, how many molecules? 2 into this one, 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules are there. This is what you have to understand. Okay. Now, ideal gas equation becomes PV equal to mu RT. Mu contains the mass term. R is universal gravitation constant. R is equal to PV by mu T. PV always the product work, so it is joule. Joule per mole Kelvin. 1 Kelvin, you know, 1 Kelvin value equal to 1 degree Celsius. So you can also write joule per mole degree Celsius. Joule per mole degree Celsius you can write. Okay. Similarly, in calories, if you express, it becomes 1.98. 1.98 calories per mole Kelvin. Calories per mole Kelvin. This is ideal gas equation. We deal strictly with ideal gases only. We don't consider the real gases in which we live in. We live in real gas. We don't consider real gas. We discuss about ideal gas only. Okay. Then after understanding ideal gas behavior, we learn Van der Waal equation for real gas that you do in chemistry, not in physics. So I'll stop here. We will continue in the next class.